Okay, my sister in dress, let me introduce her, Sunny Slaughter, who teaches law enforcement, former law enforcement officer, teaches training, and Bob Hill is still with me. I don't need to introduce you anymore, Sunny Slaughter, because I know you have a lot to say about this case. My question to you first is, if it isn't the school officer trained to respond to an active shooter, and this is the only one, Scot Peterson, who? And then my second question to you, Sunny, because again, is what about this opening statement from the defense?
Yes, school resource officers, law enforcement in general, are trained, are supposed to be ready, and have rapid response. They are supposed to run into the gunfire. Clearly, this man said that he did not know where it was, but he knew that somebody in the school was in danger. He should have been running in. However, this opening statement, oh my gosh, it's scaring me.
In what way?
The defense attorney is really not focused on the issues that, I mean, he's yelling, his presentation is all off. He's talking about things that he really shouldn't. He should really talk about the character of this SRO, the character of Scot Peterson, what he did right, what he was trained to do, why he didn't run in automatically. He should really focus on the nuances of understanding what wasn't happening, what he didn't know. And yet this man, I feel like he's testifying. It's really not a good opening statement for the defense team. And I'm concerned already. And it's just the first day.
Sunny Slaughter, I know that you've had some pretty visceral reactions because I get to see you here in the studio. Now, I just want to go back to the point that the children and the teachers were trained a month before what to do with an active school shooter, and they did that. And the school shooter came in here 2 minutes, and then at 4 minutes, with 4 minutes left to go, we have the person who was trained to respond to an active school shooter, a real shooter, who didn't do anything. And the prosecution's argument is that in those 4 minutes, if you had done what you were supposed to do, Scot Peterson, those people would still be alive on the floors, not the first floor, but maybe the second and third floor. Give me your thoughts, given how the defense is doing with responding to that.
I don't think the defense is really responding at all to those questions. I think the defense is really trying to testify instead of making the points that the officer, Peterson, he did not have sight of a shooter. He was not aware. He responded, as you said earlier, we kind of talked about this, with a sniper, then you take cover. With the shooter, you would go in. I don't think that the defense is really touching on any of those critical points. He's not focused on the deficit of the communication between Peterson, waiting for backup, making sure that he knew where everyone would be coming into and how they would respond. There's a coordinated effort. The children and the school officials did practice, but I'm wondering, was Scot Peterson there when they practiced? What did they do? What is the failure of communication? And how does this really make him guilty of the criminal charges that they are levying against him? The defense attorney is missing all of the critical points. If he would stop screaming, slow down, and focus on what he needs to be saying and not what he wants to say, maybe the jury won't